Jeff, what emotions are you hearing from other players and people around the sport in reaction to the Jacob Blake shooting?
Greeny, Dominic Smith is as gregarious, as kind, as noble of a kid as you are ever going to meet. And so to see him breaking down like that, I think opened a lot of people's eyes around baseball when they ask the question, why are they doing this? Why are people not playing? It's so someone like Dom Smith has the ability to tell his story and to show what it's like to be a black man in America in 2020, and to have that platform and that area to go ahead and do it. And listen, players across the sport are seeking that same kind of unanimity that Malika was talking about. They're trying to get on the same page, and at the same time, they're understanding that it's never going to be the case where everybody inside of a clubhouse agrees on what the right position is, what the right tack is going forward. But what they are doing, Greeny, is listening to the leaders in the clubhouse. You see last night with the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mookie Betts said, "I'm not playing." Clayton Kershaw came in and said, "I am your brother, and as your brother, I'm going to do everything I can to support you. And if that means you're not playing, then that means we're not playing." We're not going to see that everywhere across the sport, Greeny, but the fact that we saw that in Los Angeles with two players of the stature of Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw, I think went a long way to explaining why yesterday did happen.
Yeah, that's very well put. I was actually just reading this on an Instagram post on ESPN's Instagram. Clayton Kershaw, the quote was, "As a white player on this team, how can we show support? What is something tangible we can do to help our black brothers on this team? We felt the best thing to do was to support that in not playing." So you say that a lot of decisions obviously are still to be made. We had 3 games postponed yesterday. What should we expect to happen regarding that from here?
You know, Greeny, I don't think that any games are going to be postponed today. This feels more like a one-day action in Major League Baseball. MLB, in fact, went and put out a new schedule that has 3 doubleheaders today. But if you had told me yesterday afternoon that 3 Major League Baseball games were going to be canceled on account of protesting racial injustice, I would have said, no way. This was the same sport, Greeny, that just 3 years ago had one player in Bruce Maxwell taking a knee to protest racial injustice. And now you have 3 teams, 6 teams really, not playing games on account of that same issue. That's progress. And that's the reason that Bruce Maxwell knelt. And that's the reason that the Milwaukee Bucks took the action they did to spur something that goes not just throughout basketball, but throughout all of sports and hopefully throughout all of society. I don't anticipate any games being canceled or postponed today. Right now, the 3 games that were postponed from yesterday are back on the schedule today as doubleheaders. But then again, I didn't expect the games yesterday to be postponed either. And I think that shows the step that Major League Baseball has taken. I want to illustrate this through some conversations that were happening with the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Francisco Giants yesterday. Now, that game was postponed on account of Mookie Betts saying he's not going to play, and then Clayton Kershaw and his Dodgers teammates backing him up. But you've also got Gabe Kapler, the Giants manager, who's been outspoken about social injustice. You've got Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, the same. And in the conversations between the teams, Greeny, we're not just starting and ending with let's postpone the game. At one point, they were talking about the possibility of acting like there was going to be a game, walking out onto the field, doing all of the normal things that they do before a game, and then all of the players together standing and walking off the field together and leaving a baseball on the mound. And this was a very powerful thing, potentially, that they could have been doing. Major League Baseball isn't quite there yet. They don't have the unanimity of the NBA. They don't have the social justice bona fides and really everybody coming together the way that other sports do necessarily. But the steps that baseball has taken, even over the last couple of months, seeing what they're doing now, to me, is a great leap forward compared to where they have been in the past, and shows that they are having these conversations and thinking about these awfully important issues.